Long ago, in the deep heart of the land, there were two powerful villages, Umuobodo and Umuagu. For generations, the two villages lived side by side. They traded food in the markets, shared water from the same river, and sometimes even married each other's sons and daughters. But peace, as the elders often said, can be as fragile as dry leaves in harmattan. One small misunderstanding, one careless action, and everything can burn. It all began on a dark evening when a young hunter from Umuobodo disappeared near the thick forest that separated the two villages. The next morning, his body was found lying near the border of Umuagu land. No one knew exactly what had happened, but anger spreads faster than truth. The people of Umuobodo believed the hunters of Umuagu had killed their son. They gathered in the village square, shouting in rage. Mothers cried, fathers sharpened their spears. The people of Umuagu must pay for this, one warrior shouted. Word quickly reached Umuagu village. Their elders denied the accusation. We did not kill your hunter, they said firmly. The forest itself holds many dangers. But by then, the fire of revenge had already been lit, and once revenge begins, it rarely stops. Days later, another tragedy struck. Two farmers from Umuagu never returned from their farms. Their broken tools were found close to the same border where the hunter had died. Now Umuagu believed Umuobodo had taken revenge. Fear slowly turned into hatred. The elders from both villages tried to stop the rising tension. They called for meetings beneath the ancient Iroko tree that stood between their lands. But the younger warriors would not listen. Their hearts were filled with anger, and anger can blind even the wisest men. Then one night, everything changed. Under the silent moon, warriors from Umuobodo marched quietly toward Umuagu. Their bodies were covered with war paint, their eyes burning with revenge. They believed they were bringing justice, but what they brought was destruction. When they reached the edge of Umuagu village, the dogs began to bark. Drums suddenly echoed through the night. Umuagu had been waiting. Warriors rushed out from their huts holding spears, machetes, and shields. The quiet night exploded into chaos. Metal clashed. Spears flew through the air. War cries filled the darkness. Fires began to spread across the village as huts burned under the raging battle. Men fought desperately to protect their homes and families. Mothers grabbed their children and ran into the forest. The ground itself seemed to tremble beneath the violence. The war lasted until the first light of morning. By the time the sun finally rose over the hills, both villages had suffered terrible losses. Many warriors had fallen, homes had been destroyed, and the river that once united them now flowed silently between two broken communities. When the elders from both sides finally met again, their faces were heavy with grief. They realized something painful. The war had started because of suspicion, fear, and anger. But no one had ever discovered the true cause of the first hunter's death. Some said it was a wild animal from the forest. Others whispered that a wandering spirit had taken his life. But by the time the truth no longer mattered, too much blood had already been spilled. From that day forward, the story of the war between Umuobodo and Umuagu was told to every new generation, not as a story of victory, but as a warning, because sometimes the greatest enemy of a village is not the people next door, but the anger that lives inside the human heart.